Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ad America. My name is James, one of the e-guides here in Ad America, and we welcome audience members joining us online. We hope that you're doing well and staying safe. Ad America is the United States Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn more about the United States. I'd also like to let everyone know that Ad America is now back open to the public, so please feel free to bring your friends and families to come enjoy our facilities and events in person. Now, before we actually start, today we will be having GED test preparation, reasoning through language arts. And I have here a little fun fact for everyone. The GED could be taken online depending on your state and must be given by an official GED testing service and supervised by an online proctor to be considered valid. Now, stay tuned until the end of this program because, other than that, don't forget to take a selfie and tag at America's Instagram account. And now, without further ado, let me introduce everyone to our facilitator for today. We have Zachariah Shatkam, a GED qualified instructor. Zach, the stage is yours.
Yes, hello, thank you so much. Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to the second session of GED prep class, and I hope you're all well. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, and I hope that you all had a good week this weekend. You are studying, so of course, you guys seem great. Okay, let me know when you see my screen. This is maybe one of the most repetitive questions people have asked during COVID. Anyway, so hello again, welcome. This is the second session. If this is your first time, welcome. And if this is your second time and your second session, welcome back. In the previous session, we kind of went on and talked about reading comprehension, what it is. We talked about, some things that we might cover. We will cover, but, some things that we might, like some grammatical points and some concepts and all during this prep class. But today, first what we'll do is we'll recap last session. And as you remember in the last session, for those for whom this is the first time attending this class, so in the last session we talked about we gave some overall info about GED and also RLA. We talked about what we'll cover in this class, which is reading comprehension. And I said that if you want to improve your writing, you have to refer to the academic writing program that is also conducted by At America. You can go there and prepare the writing section of GED. We talked about platforms. Yesterday, I shared with you that I'll be sharing materials on Notion. Notion is a platform kind of and like an all-in-one workspace where you can basically upload, embed links. You can write down things and you can just publish it. It's like a website. It's Notion site, so yeah, could be your own website anyway. And if you have visited Notion, I have actually posted, we embedded the YouTube video of last session. Yes, thank you, Faisal. Faisal has sent Notion's link in the chat. Okay. Platforms, we talked about Mint Mirror as well. So if this is your first time attending this session, please download Mint Mirror. And if you don't have, let's say if you're using your phone and that's the only device you have for this session, then it's okay. You can just go to any browser on your phone or computer, either Mac or Windows, or maybe Linux. Some of you might be really geeky. Anyway, so you could just go to minty.com and yes, and write down the code if you have any question, the code that Faisal has sent in the chat. We talked about reasoning through language arts test. We said that there will be 90 minutes for the reading section and 45 minutes for the writing section. There'll be might be a 10-minute break, and also there'll be 3 minutes of instructions. No, just telling you what to do, what to expect, how to answer the questions. Okay, no, before that, I remember during the last session, I said if you have any extra questions, and I visited actually the Mentimeter record, the presenter side, of course, of the code that has been sent by Faisal. And there were a few questions. So one of them was about GED score. So I have to say, on GED, you have is, so you have, as I said in the previous session, you have the reading section. I'm going to try to write more clearly. So you have the reading section, and you have the writing section. The reading section, actually, if you score perfectly in the reading section, you get 80% of scores. So, and it's scored out of 200. So 80% out of 80% of 200, if you know math, is 160. So if you get a perfect score, you get in the reading section, you get 160, and you get 40, which is 20% of the overall score for the writing section of GED RLA test. Technically, because the passing score of GED the passing score, let me write it down in a different color. The passing score is 145 out of 200, which means that if you score lower than that, you fail. If you score lower than 145, if you score, by the way, no one has ever scored below 100. So don't worry about that. But you have to try to get at least 145 in order to pass the test. If you get 145, you pass the test. If you get from 145 to 164, so basically if you get 165 out of 200, you pass the test with a college-ready score, which means that this is not actually written on the diploma that you receive, but it is pretty official. So any university or in any country where GED is accepted, they know the scoring system. So 165 of 200 is college-ready pass. And they're 165 until 174. And from 175 onwards, upwards, if you score 175 to 200, you're really good, and the test day is your day, then you get college ready plus credit, which means that you could potentially get enrolled or get admitted or accepted by a university, and then the university might have some basic English courses or which are required for non-native speakers or for non-English native speakers. So if you have like 175 or more than that, then you could potentially say, okay, I don't want to take that course. Look at my GED score. I have scored 180. I don't need to, take those courses, and you could just get credits for those courses and just skip them. As simple as that. Again, if you have any questions at any time, if I speak too fast, please let me know. And if I am going too fast, again, please let me know, because I have I have seen and I have assessed the assessment test that you guys took the day before yesterday on Thursday. And some scored perfectly. Well done. And some need help. And for those, if you think I go, at any point of this class, if you think I go fast, please do let me know in the chat. Yep. Okay, that is that. Now let's go. To get you in the mood of reading and understanding, answering questions, I have prepared a reading test, a reading comprehension test, just to get you started for today. So open your Mentimeter or go to Mentimeter's website and go and write down this code. This, unlike the previous presentation, which was presenter, based on presenter space, this one is actually audience based. So you could potentially just answer the questions like in a few minutes. But I'm going to give you 10 minutes anyway, just in case. So you have 10 minutes to go to read this either here, go to the Mentimeter and go to that link and read it there as well. So if you could please have the code in the chat, 97, 91, 82, and 89. So if you go there, you can just take it. And if it's not working, if it doesn't go to the next slide, just like the previous session, please do let me know. Because I thought the previous session I had set it up to be based on audience space, not presenter space. Okay, and your time starts now. Why is it not working? Okay, good luck everyone. If at any point you have any questions, please do let us know in the chats. And if you are joining this session from other platforms, social media and other platforms, write down your questions through this Mentimeter code that has been sent by Adamerica's social media account. Yes, well done, well done. You still have, let's say, 6 minutes left. By the way, whenever you're done, please state so in the chat so I know. Well done. Well done. Yes, we have received 8 responses for the last question. Let's see. Well done. The time actually keeps stopping when I go to the next screen. I mean, on the second screen when I click there. Well done. 16 people are done, I guess. Not yet. Who is Zach Zach? Well done, everyone. Well done. Okay, great. Maybe we spare the last minute. I'm sure all of you are fine with that. Okay, I guess this is it. And I'm just going to stop the timer and go to the next page. Okay, so now let's look at this. The title is the Truth Bad Coupon. Okay, and if we click here and go to the next page, this is the same. As you can see here, I have added the Mentimeter to PowerPoint, so you can see everything that we have got on Mentimeter. For the first question, which is the author of this passage argues that coupons what? And as you can see here, 15 people have said may not be worth using. Okay, other person has just given the response. I'm just going to close the response, maybe. Maybe, okay. It's fine. You guys can take the assessment only once, so it's fine. Okay, so now we have 37 responses. Some people have said that, okay, may not be worth using. 9 people have said that, okay, never save people money, take too much time to organize, and are an unfair trick stores use. Okay, so now let's read it. Okay, I'm going to read it out loud to make it easier. So many people use coupons when they shop. Coupons are tickets that give people discounts on different items. For example, if a carton of eggs costs $3, it might cost $2 with a coupon. You can get coupons in the mail from the newspaper or even from a website when people use coupon because they think they will save a lot of money. The truth is, okay, this is when the first paragraph actually ends. And then the truth is, this is the second paragraph. The truth is that coupons do not always save you money. Okay, the second paragraph talks about that. Of course, that is the topic sentence, if you remember from the previous session. So in the previous session, we talked about topic sentences, and topic sentences usually appear in the first sentence of a paragraph, and the last sentence of usually paragraphs, they actually link back to the topic sentence, and also they link back to the if statement, which we talked about yesterday, but don't worry if you don't understand this. Okay, so, and then it goes on and says, okay, they might not need it or even want it. Also, it takes time to find the coupons you want, cut them out, and organize them. Then you have to make sure you have the correct ones when you go to different stores. Spending hours cutting out coupons may not be the best use of your time. Well, a lot of things are not the best use of our time anyway. So stores take the time and money to print coupons because they know a coupon can make a person come into a store. And once people are inside a store, they usually buy something. This means that coupons may help a store earn money without helping you save any. Okay. Now, if we look at this, the author of this passage argues that what is this question really asking? It's basically asking for the main idea. For the kind of main idea. What is a main idea? So each essay, it doesn't matter what you say, even like any sentence is about something, right? Let's say, for example, for instance, this GED prep class. The topic is RLA. That is what this whole class is about. Okay, what is the point of this class? What is this class trying to say? What do we really want from this class? what I, as the instructor of this class, claim that you can do after you have taken this class and after you have actually basically attended all the sessions, used all the materials, and practiced all the recommended practices. So that would be the main idea. The main idea of this class is that it prepares you for GED RLA test. That is the main idea of this class. And if you look at this whole passage, and if you look at the different paragraphs, so the first one talks about people using them and about coupon, itself. In the second paragraph, the author actually goes on and talks about, what the author's argument is. Okay, and if you look at the last sentence of the first paragraph, it says, maybe I should use a highlight or something. I'm gonna try to delete these. Okay, I should use a highlighter to let you know what I exactly mean. Okay, so this is the first paragraph. This is the first sentence of the first paragraph. And this is the last sentence of the paragraph, the first paragraph. So it says many people use coupons when they shop, okay? Many people use coupons because they think they will save a lot of money. They think, okay, that's something to consider. First sentence of the second paragraph, the truth is that coupons don't always save you money, okay? First sentence of the second paragraph, the topic sentence, and now last sentence of the second paragraph, spending hours cutting out coupons may not be the best use of your time. Okay, now first sentence of the last paragraph, because they know a coupon can make a person come into a store. And last sentence of the last paragraph, which is usually known as the conclusion paragraph. The paragraph where you kind of conclude your argument. Let's say if you're talking about, for instance, let's say you're saying that, okay, English, a language, it's the topic, and your argument is English is difficult. And now what you have to do is you have to start your sentence, you have to start your whole, let's say, argument, talking about how difficult English is, provide proof, provide evidence, provide examples, and then at the end you come back and say, therefore, English is difficult. Let's say that's your main point, your main idea, the central idea that your whole essay, your whole argument actually revolves around. Okay, that's what you say. And if you look at here, the author of this passage argues that coupons what? Okay, if you know, most of you actually know. So 16 people actually have answered it correctly, saying that coupons may not be worth using. Why? Because it says, okay, many people use coupons because they think they will save a lot of money. The truth that coupons will always save you money. Okay, it doesn't save you money. What does it do? It also wastes your time. What does it do? So you kind of stores use this because they want to make you come into a store. And this actually helps the stores, not people, which means that it may not be worth using. So option 3, the option which most of you have chosen, is the correct one. Let's go to the next one. In the next paragraph, I have to erase the inks. Okay, let me just erase some part of it. Okay, so okay, the second question is based. Excuse me, I'm still not completely aware. Okay, so based on its use in paragraph 1, second question talks about paragraph 1. So when you read a question, usually questions have instructions. They tell you where you can find the answer for the question. So this is, of course, based on paragraph 1. So we just need to know paragraph 1, which is also known as the introduction paragraph, or as the thesis paragraph, where the point is made, and then in the middle of any type of essay, you'll see some proofs, you'll see some evidence, you'll see some examples, some expert opinions, basically some points or some kind of, they try to substantiate their claim, they try to support their claim, they try to support their main idea, which is expressed through this statement in the first paragraph. Okay, it says, based on its use in paragraph 1, it can be understood that discounts belong. Why is it belong? Discounts belong to which of the following word groups? Okay, now, if you look at this, the options are payments, money, cash, chances, breaks, opportunities, sales, transaction, and purchases. Okay, 44% of you, 44% of you have said that decreases, reductions, and subtractions. Okay, where do we know the answer? Like, we're going to find the answer in the first paragraph. If we look at first paragraph, coupons are tickets that give people discounts on different items. And if the next sentence is read, okay, one of the tips that I can give you is when you are reading something and you don't understand it, what you usually should do is read the sentences around the paragraph, around the sentence that you don't understand. So sentences around okay, maybe you should go and read like one sentence that has appeared before the sentence that you don't understand, and the sentence that appears after the sentence that you don't understand. Okay, the sentence before this is basically introduction, so it doesn't say a lot, but the sentence after the sentence that you don't understand says, for example. See, examples actually make it clear, or make the points clear, or at least clearer, maybe more clear for people to understand. By the way, clearer and more clear, both are correct. So for example, if a carton of eggs costs $3, okay, it might cost $2 with a coupon. It means the cost of the carton of eggs actually reduces, decreases, okay, is subtracted. Okay, good. 44% of you have answered this correctly. Okay, sales, transaction, purchases could be true, but the question is based on its use in paragraph 1. Remember that. You might have, external knowledge about a topic, but that doesn't mean that the same idea is argued in the paragraph or in the passage that you're reading. So if you're reading, let's say you hate me. Okay, let's say that. Who knows? Let's say you hate me. If you read an essay written on how good I am, then you can't really answer the questions about me not being a good person. You can't really choose those answers. You have to choose them based on what you read, not how you feel. Okay? Sometimes it's useful to use your outside knowledge. Maybe if you're talking about science or social studies subject, maybe math, definitely. Then you could use your outside knowledge and come and answer the question. But when the question starts with based on its use in paragraph 1, you have to consider that paragraph and the words used in that paragraph in that specific essay only, not your outside world knowledge. Sometimes could help, but usually does not. So yes, option 3, decreases, reductions, and subtractions is correct. Now let's go to, I skip one. No, I did not. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. The next one Wait, what? See? No notes are there. Okay. In paragraph 2, the author writes, okay, paragraph 2, we have read it. The truth is that coupons do not always save you money. The purpose of this sentence is to do what? Okay, the first one is provide an example. Introduce an idea. Answer a question, solve a problem. Okay, 2 options. We can certainly just say, okay, these 2 options are absolutely wrong and there is no way they are right. The truth is that coupons do not always save you money. Okay, that kind of answers the question. Does coupon always save you money? Solve a problem? Nope. Saving money? Yes, inscription is good, but it's not like we have to be more specific. Provide an example. Okay, let's read the paragraph. In paragraph 2, but the truth is, okay, people often buy something just because they have a coupon. This is not an example. This is making a point. So, expressing an idea. So, sorry, what did I do? So, this should have been a different color. So this is correct. Introduce an idea. Provide an example. Not really. The sentence in paragraph 1 could be, like coupons are tickets that give people discounts on different items, for example. That is the transitional word or the transitional phrase that is used to give you examples. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. I just don't run out of time. Okay, this is a direct quote from the passage. It says, okay, people often buy something just because they have a coupon for it. Okay, they might not need it or even want it. An example of this is if a person does what? Okay, let's read it. If a person does what? Okay, so it is asked, for example, has a coupon for strawberry yogurt but really wants blueberry yogurt. Okay, no. So gets a coupon for a box of crackers. That is, buy one, get one free. Okay, buys bread with a coupon, even though he or she did not plan to buy bread. The last one is plans to buy apples, but once at the store decides to buy bananas and grapes too. Okay. An example of this is if a person does what? Okay. Now you have to know that the example should include a coupon. Okay. So you can't just talk about anything and talk about just buying and say, okay. So people buy something just because they have a coupon for it. So it's about buying something, not buying the coupon itself. So gets a coupon for a box of crackers, that is buy one, get one free. That is wrong. That's about getting coupons, not buying something, through a coupon. So has a coupon for strawberry yogurt, but really wants blueberry yogurt. This is okay. It's okay to do that. You have not used your coupon. Yes, you have that coupon for strawberry yogurt, but you really want blueberry yogurt. Good. You could just blueberry yogurt. You could just get it today, and strawberry yogurt. You could just get it some other day. It's fine. Whenever you want it. So buys bread with a coupon, even though he or she did not plan to buy bread. See, this person has gone to a store, wants to buy something, and then sees bread and oh, I have coupon for bread. Now what do? I buy bread, even though I did not plan it. If I did not plan something, or if I do not plan something, it means that usually means that I don't need it, or I did not need it in the first place. Okay, but why do I keep doing this? This is the correct option. Okay. It's fine. The last one, sorry. The last one actually talks about, which point? The last one actually talks about the last point that is made in the paragraph. It says, okay, so stores take time and money to print coupons because they know a coupon can make a person come into store. So this actually could be an example for that argument or that idea in the paragraph, but not for the idea that is expressed or that is stated in the question. Okay, next one again, you have the opportunity to ask questions. It's fine. Let's go to the last one. Let's see if this is the last one. Yep. Okay. This is the last question. So the last question is, excuse me. So the last question is, according to the author, stores take time and money to print coupons in order to what? In order to accomplish what? Of course, let's read it. Where does the author talks about this? Stores printing out coupons. If you look at it, it is mentioned in the last paragraph. So stores take the time and money to print coupons because they know a coupon can make a person come into store. Okay, this is what it talks about. In order to do what? Help people save money? Nope, not at all. So make people come into store. Okay, let's consider that. Force people to buy things they do not want. Force, that's a bit too strong. Maybe kind of not manipulate, but kind of force is maybe too strong. Definitely too strong. Advertise the stores and the things they sell. That could be true, but that is not mentioned in the paragraph. So the only option that actually makes sense, among the options that we have, this question is this one, and most of you have answered that one correctly. Well done. I think that is it. Yes, that was the last question. And now let's go to the next slide. In the next slide is, if you have any questions, as Faisal has kindly sent it in the chat, please go to this link. Please go on minty.com and just ask your question there. I'm just going to check that to see if you have that, if you have asked any questions. Let me just check that really quickly to see if you have asked any question. If not, then we'll continue and talk about test topics. Okay, no question has been asked. So let's go to the next one. The next one is about what we will cover in today's session. In today's session, we will cover what we need to do. Okay, yesterday we talked about reading comprehension, right? In reading comprehension, we said that, okay, reading comprehension basically means understanding what we read, comprehending what we read. And when you are tested on how much you can comprehend or how much you comprehend when you read, after you've read something, is basically, so what should we do, or what is that really asking us? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the strategies. We're going to practice close reading. There's going to be a passage, and I'm going to read that passage and answer the questions as we go along, and let you know what I think about my thought process and all when I answer the questions. And we're going to talk about main idea and supporting details. Main idea and supporting details, we're going to talk about this during answering those questions. So Easy. So when we say analyze reading materials, what do we mean by that? Analyze written materials. It basically means looking at the details mentioned in the material. So when we look at the details that are mentioned in the material, what details do we usually see? We usually see is like, okay, let me write it down, choose the color. What we usually see is a topic. So what we always see is a topic. And what we always see, that topic has an idea. There is a main idea, or the central idea, that the whole, or at least most of that passage of text talks about. Details or supports are provided for that idea. And then we have a main idea, and then we have supporting details, supporting details of the main idea. What else do we have? Is you have different things. Like when you're asked to do something, when you're analyzing it, you have to first try to find out, like, see, okay, analyze it. Okay, what is the topic? The topic, let's say, Jakarta is crowded. Let's say the topic is Jakarta being crowded, and the idea is that Jakarta being crowded is good. Okay, let's say that. Some of you might not agree with me, but it's fine. Let's just argue that and see what if that is the main idea, what supports do I provide for that? Okay, so let's say the idea is, let's write it down, Jakarta is crowded. Now, the topic is this, Jakarta is crowded, the topic, okay, Jakarta being crowded, and then my idea is, so the population in Jakarta, please pardon my handwriting, usually I write on paper, so it's not something I do usually. I mean, writing on screen. So the idea is that the population in Jakarta is actually, with the number of population is actually good for the city. For this city. Okay, good for the city and everyone in it. Okay, let's say that's what we are actually arguing. Okay, what do I need to provide? If you have any ideas, write them down. So first of all, this is something that I could say directly, like one of my sentences, or one of these sentences in the essay that I write could be this. The number of population in Jakarta is actually good for the city. Okay, that could be one of my sentences. And I also could express this or state this indirectly, like talking about the population itself and also how good it is to have, really a huge number of people at a place, like how good it is to have people around. I could talk about that. So first of all, I have to provide, sorry for the noise, that's my sleep. I have to provide some support. What kind of supports do I need? Okay, I'm writing this side, so that's why it looks weird. So what kind of supports do I need? I could provide some basic information about the population to kind of, to lay the foundation to just kind of state what the essay or passage is going to, like some info. And then I have to find some facts, basically evidence, some facts that actually support this argument, as I mentioned. And then I should provide evidence. Facts, of course, is including the evidence. And then I could give an example. I could use maybe some expert knowledge, like some expert opinion, or some suppose like, okay, about a research, done recently on population, and the result of the result, the result of the research actually showed that cities with, cities which are more populated are happier, wealthier, and less polluted. I could kind of bring up that kind of research. Could be wrong anyway, but I have to say things that support the idea I am trying to express, or I am trying to state, either indirectly or directly. Recognize and extract evidence. In the last one, I did talk about, what kind of evidence we usually have. What we usually have is, let's say, like I said, we have facts. What is fact? Okay, can someone please tell me? Please kindly use your laptop. I'm sorry, but this is PowerPoint. It makes it a bit difficult. If I have, I'll try to write more clearly. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, so you have recognize and extract evidence. By the way, you will have the recording later on. You could go on YouTube and just listen to my voice and write them down in your handwriting. This is a live session, and but this is not the only time you'll be hearing about this. You can watch it again and again, and the links and everything will be provided. Okay, you have recognize and extract evidence. Let me try to write more clearly. Okay, what kind of evidence? Oh, what is considered an evidence? So evidence I usually use to substantiate, to kind of provide support for a claim. Let me hide this floating control panel. Okay, recognize and extract evidence. Okay, first of all, we should know what evidence is, like facts. Oh, sorry, not this one. Okay. Okay, facts. Facts. It's really difficult to not touch the surface and write. With markers, it's easier, but with this pen. Okay, facts. What are facts? Facts could be either proven, both proven and disproven. Either way. Okay, now that is bad. Even I am against that kind of handwriting. Either proven. By the way, please do not judge me based on this handwriting. I have a really good handwriting. It's just this screen makes it look terrible. Either proven or disproven. Go, okay. So let's say facts. I say Jakarta's population is 20 million. Let's say I say that. That is a fact. An info, maybe I present as a fact. The facts are proven, and if facts are kind of biased, because some people actually talk about facts, but the facts are taken, from some biased. But like the real fact is 100% of the time true. Please do consider that. I'm talking about, like in the context. So facts, definitely okay. Let's say can be proven. Let's forget that one. So just so you don't get confused. Facts. Let me use a different one, like statistics. statistics for. This one can be either proving or disproving. Okay. We should have proof. And the statistics definitely, they have number. Now, when I talk about the number of population, I say 20 million, that is a statistic. Let's say I talk about, I give an example. If we take the main idea, is this handwriting better? Please do let me know if you still have difficulty understanding it. Okay, so you have this example. So in the example, I could say about, to support my main point or my main idea, or the central idea of the essay that I was trying to write about being popular is actually a good thing. Example could be, again, like some people helping one another. No, more people, more helper. More people. I could give an example. I could give that more people, more helper. And then the specific example for that would be someone just, having someone being in an accident, like a road accident in the middle of the night. Let's say at 3 a.m. I could give this example and say, if the city was not as populated as it is right now, they would probably, they would have been no one helping that person who just had an accident. The example could be something like that. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you for enabling the live transcription. Okay. So you have the example, that could be the example. And also, if you are reading something, you have to be able to recognize them. So I said facts, statistics, information, examples, could be expert's opinion, as I expressed in the previous one. Expert's opinion. What do we really mean? Okay. What do we really mean by expert's opinion? If I am talking about, if I am trying to make a point about someone being a selfless, helping person, I could use expert's opinion like a psychologist or a therapist to support my argument in that, let's say, circumstance. Psychiatrist or psychologist or therapist could be a good expert to have. To have express their opinion on this. If I'm talking about, let's say, disease, an expert on that specific disease, or someone who has been working on that specific disease for years, is considered the expert. If I'm talking about, let's say, teaching, someone who has taught for years can be used to talk about that specific point or support the writer's claim as the expert. And that actually adds value to the argument. When you use facts, basically, when you say evidence, like all of these, I use it as evidence, I use it as supporting details to support the main idea, the main claim, the central idea. There is this topic. The topic, as I said, let's say, is Jakarta being crowded. The idea that I'm trying to express and the supporting details that I provide always be consistent. When you read something, most of the times, okay, one of the difficulties that people have is they kind of confuse, supporting details with the main idea, because some supporting details, they sound the same. But if you read more closely, you will see that all those supporting details are actually not supported themselves. They support something else. And if you just look at all the points, let's say statistic is about the number of people over the population about Jakarta. The next best opinion is, let's say, someone who's really good at knowing, someone who is known, what's good for people. And if you talk about example, the example is good. If I talk about facts, okay, people in, like they say, I say facts. One of the facts is that people living in more populated countries can't see any good point about that. I just made that my main idea for you to know. There's not everything else. Like if I say something that is popular, then it's too obvious, and we won't really get the point. Anyway, if I use, let's say, I have used facts, I've used statistics, I have used examples, I have used expert's opinion, I have used all of that, and then what I need to do is I need to conclude and kind of say, okay, all these things that you have read, the researchers, the statistics, the examples, the facts, the experts, they all say that, okay, this is a good thing. Therefore, it is a good thing. That's how arguments are usually concluded. Okay, and the last one is making connections. How do you make connections? How do you know if something is about, if a supporting detail is supporting what you think is the main idea? Okay, let's make connections. So making connections could be as simple as Zach, is me, has a bad handwriting. Yeah, let's say this is the main point you're trying to make. Now, what do you need for this? You need evidence, right? Choosing is not difficult. Okay, so now, Zach has a bad handwriting. If I say something like, we cannot read what he has written. Now, is this connected to this? Yes. Okay, let's say this is one of the sentences, one of the points in the paragraph. Okay, Zach has a bad handwriting. We can't read what he has written. If we look at it, they actually connect both ways. So either of them could be the main point. But if you read, more supporting details, you'll know. His handwriting is bad handwriting. His horrible. His horrible handwriting has been criticized by many handwriting experts, including let's say something, the legend handwriter, or the legend himself. Okay, I'm not going to use that name. Okay, legend is with that one. So the legend or the expert, including, let's not say this to make it less confusing. Including, let's say, Ahmad. And then I could use a quotation mark saying, Ahmad. Let's say I continue and say, Ahmad has said, Ahmad, this is not the name of the person, by the way. I was asked for this. I'm just making a point so you know exactly what I mean. So Ahmad, let's say Ahmad is the expert. Ahmad said that, please use computer. Do not write using pen. Let's say, and Ahmad is an expert in the subject. You see, when people read this, they think, oh, then Zach's handwriting must be terrible. And it must be, unreadable. How do you know that this is not, the main point the writer is trying to make? If you look at this, I have specifically or carefully written this word, his horrible handwriting. You see, this horrible actually connects it to bad handwriting. Bad is actually a less kind of negative word, but horrible actually is maybe his terrible handwriting, not horrible. Horrible is just horrifying. Anyway, so this is what I mean. When you are able to make connections. Let's say the essay actually says something really irrelevant. So let's say back is also okay. That really proves the point. That is also what? That is also a terrible football player. Okay, this could be true. It's not. This could be true, but is it a supporting detail? Is it proving something? Is it used in this sentence? So is it used in this, let's say, essay to support a point? This could be the only sentence about football and Zach's inability of playing it. That is my handwriting, of course. Whose handwriting do you think it is? Like I'm talking and writing at the same time. So plus I'm, as I said the other day, I'm using this and this makes sound. Don't want damage the screen, do I? Okay. So now I have made some points here about making connections, about connecting evidence, different supporting details, about connecting relationships. What is the relationship between this and this and this? None. So when you read two irrelevant ideas expressed, and one of them is not supported or mentioned in any other passage or paragraph, in any other part of the passage or in any paragraph, then you know that that information is just a standalone information, is a standalone idea or opinion that, no, which is not supported, which is not substantiated. Okay, anyway, that is how you should be able to make connections. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Now let's talk about some strategies. What can we do? The other day, if you remember, I talked about asking questions. What questions did I tell you you can ask? Okay, so whenever you read something, your first question should always be, what is the topic? What should the first question be? Ask yourself. Like in the passage that we read, and you went on Mentimeter and answered the questions off, and then I analyzed the answers and we went through them together. For that one, if you ask the question, what is the topic? Okay, this is getting worse. What is? I think it's going to get better, as we go. So as this class goes on, like in the 10th or maybe 16th session, last session, I'll have a really great handwriting. So what is the topic, if you ask this? If you ask this. Okay. If you, let's consider two topics that we talked about. Great laugh. So let's consider the two topics that we talked about. First one, coupons. The second one, my handwriting. Okay, for the first one, the topic was coupons. Okay. And for the second one, my handwriting. My handwriting. Okay, good. We have asked that, and we have received the answers for those questions. Now, the second question that we always should ask is, which idea, which point, which idea or point is the most supported point in the whole passage? Is the most supported point. This is the kind of dash. Okay. The most supported point is the most supported one, maybe. I have mentioned point of idea in the question. So which idea or point is the most supported one in the whole essay? Passage or text. Or text. Okay. So this should always be the second question you ask. First one, what is the topic? This class for today, it's what we need to do. Okay, And what is the idea? Is if we do these things, if we have a strategy, if we know what to do, if we are able to analyze. Oh, no. I'm just giving that example because it is really clear. And this is basically my method of teaching. I use these spontaneous, examples. I don't really prepare examples because I believe I don't want to prepare or under prepare like examples. They happen in the moment, and those points are understood better by students. No, it's not taken personally. Don't worry. Yes. So which idea or point is the most supported one in the whole essay? Okay. So if you see that, then you understand. For coupons, which idea was it? They may not be worth it. Okay, how do we know that? If we go to that paragraph again, if we go to that passage again and read the paragraphs, like in the first one, if I remember correctly. In the first one, it talked about people using coupons, and while it may not be worth using it. The second one talked about how much of your time it wastes, and in the last paragraph, it talked about how this is a tactic used by stores, and how people go there and buy things that they might not need just because they have coupons for them. So the idea or the point that was the most supported one in the whole passage or in the whole text was that coupons may not be worth using. And in handwriting's case, was that is bad. Anyway, I don't really mean it personally. Please believe me. It's just that this is a good thing to talk about. This makes you understand what I exactly mean when I say you have to have supporting details. You have to have a main idea. You have to have a topic. This is easier to understand. If I come here and talk about really complex topics, bring in complex examples, we'll do that later on. But this is the second session. Okay. If you have questions, as Faisal has sent in the chat, please go to 6080 05 005 57 on Mintmere and write down your questions. Okay. So now, the second point, or the second strategy that we should have, is find the main idea and supporting details. This is something that I talked about. So there is no need to go over again, but if you do have any question, please write in the chat, or if you need me to repeat it, I can give you a different example. Neither my handwriting nor the coupons, maybe a different example. Just let me know if you need an extra example to understand it. So there is a question on Mintmere. The question is, don't you think that customers often go there by simple engagement without taking too much into account the theory of marketing? Yeah, could be that, but that is not the passage topic. That is not what the passage is. That is not what the passage is asking. So could be that. Yes, there could be like a different topic, and this could be like a main idea of customers, like how do customers engage with stores, how customers go to a store, and you could make a point saying that simple engagement with customers can make them go into a store just because they feel recognized, they feel as if they are kind of respected or valued. Okay, that could be that. The second question is, what is your GED average score? That is the personal question, but it's high. It's calculated plus credit. High. So don't worry about that. I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, That one's answered. Okay, we don't have any unanswered questions. So the next one is after finding the main idea and supporting details, we have to have an idea about making inferences and making logical inferences. What is inference? Does anyone know how do we infer? What is another word for that? Maybe yes, we have just a few minutes left. You have this one, okay, making logical inference. Maybe I should talk about this and then I'll send you the practice on Mentimeter. And you can go there and answer the questions, and we'll talk about the questions that you might have in the next session. Okay, making logical inference. When you infer, you're actually reading between the lines. Okay, so let's say someone has said GED is difficult. Let's say someone has said GED is difficult. And I don't have the time to prepare for it. To prepare for it. Let's say this is what the person has said. Okay, what can we infer from these two sentences? You're reading between the lines. So we can infer several things. What's implied here is, by the way, the writer implies, makes an implication, and you infer, you assume, you read between the lines. So we could make different inferences here. We could infer that the person saying this, number one could be like, number one, he is busy. Two, will probably not take the test, or will not prepare at least. Will not prepare. Okay. Three could be that, okay, finds GED not being worth prioritized. That is bad. Maybe I should prioritized. Okay, prioritized. So it finds GED not being worth prioritized. It means putting GED first. So that person thinks GED is difficult and says that he or she or they do not have the time to prepare for it. So we could infer these three different things. Anyway, if this were an essay, if this was an essay, we would be able to decide which one of these inferences is the best one, is the best choice, by looking at the main idea, supporting details, and everything mentioned in the essay. Okay, I think that is it for that one. So we had a practice coming up, but unfortunately we don't have the time for that. I'll share this on Mentimeter, and what I'll do is I'll share the code, the Mentimeter code on Notion. And yes, if you don't have Notion link, Faisal has provided that in the chat. Please go and find it and visit it. And if you don't have it, maybe send an email to America. Maybe ask for it through the Mentimeter code for questions and answers. Okay. Okay, these were the things that we would talk about. But this is it. I'm going to end with this one. So if you have any questions, please do let me know. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, write it down in the chat so I can see what questions you have. Okay. Yes, I did get the point, but that would be impersonal. Okay. Anyway, so someone has asked, how can I learn and practice my handwriting? You can practice it by writing a lot, which apparently I don't do on computer screen. Okay, but evidently I don't do. When I say apparently, it means, okay, that's just an assumption. When I say evidently, there is an evidence for that. And when you're reading something, see, is it an opinion? Is it a fact? Is it supported? Is it substantiated? Always keep that in mind. For the practice ones, you have some really specific questions, and you have some general questions about the whole passage. Like the main idea is about the whole passage. If you mentioned, like in the second paragraph, it's about the second paragraph only. It's about a use case of a specific word. In a sentence, it's about the use case of that specific code, that specific word. So I just press something on the screen. Then I set code. Anyway, thank you, everyone. This is it. We have only 1 minute left. You can find the recording on America's YouTube channel. Watch it. If you have any questions, please do let me know. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much to our facilitator, Zach, for today's very informative session. It's been great having you with us. Earlier in the event, I mentioned that America is once again open to the public, so feel free to bring families and friends. Now, you may be wondering, how can I develop an awesome idea for a place like this? It's very easy. All you need to do is go to our website at www.atamerica.or.id, select Create a Program, and click Collaborate with us. All event proposals coming to us will be reviewed, and your event might be featured here soon. You can also subscribe to our newsletter for all our weekly updates. And that's it, folks. That wraps this episode. It's been fun, but we have to say goodbye for now. Follow our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at @ATAmerica for our fun contents, event updates, and so much more. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. Again, my name is James, and we'll see you at the next America TV episode. Goodbye.